on a really messed up bed, wanting to talk about how great and actually healthy it is to embody our sub and dom energies. Because if we don't embody them in the bedroom, in a safe space where we have boundaries and acceptance and, where the intention is for transformation and empowerment and deep surrender and trust and melting and love and care, like to actually allow ourselves to play with these dynamics, it's applicable to life. It actually enhances our life, because in life, if we have not fully owned our dominant energy or our submissive energy, sometimes those energies can actually end up owning us in unconscious ways, and they will not be pleasurable and bring us this wet, juicy, sexy aliveness and empowerment that we all deserve. So it's no shame. I used to feel a lot of shame, or I used to feel shame around liking certain things that are in the more kink scene or BDSM, or even just the dom sub play. Is like, is this okay? Can I really like this? And as I leaned in deeper, and instead I was curious, I actually saw God in those spaces. I saw and felt how therapeutic and transformational they are when in the correct spaces of these fields, the spaces that have deep integrity, deep safety, and consent, and all of that, and presence, and devotion, and attunement, these types of things. So I wouldn't just go into any BDSM or kink space, only the spaces that are held with a deep reverence and care, and in a really artistic, beautiful way, sacred way. Why I feel it's so beneficial to own these energies of I love being a sub, I love it. And I also recently had my world blown open and a whole new world present itself, where I realized I also like being a dom, and I love feeling that energy in me, to embody that energy more and to actually see how it's felt by other people and how they will literally submit to me, get down on their knees, and trust me enough to submit to me and to let me have power over them. Meanwhile, though, the beautiful thing about dom-sub dynamics is that both positions are actually equally as powerful. They are, because it's very powerful to be able to submit, to put ourselves in the hands of another and to give them our power in that way. That's very powerful. It's vulnerable. To be vulnerable is powerful. And to be willing to trust that deeply is powerful, because the dom is the one that's doing more and is really active. So they might look and appear more powerful, but actually both positions are equally as powerful, just in different ways. And that's why I think it's really awesome and epic to bring these qualities into our lives. And the reason why it's good to practice it in the safe spaces that are held with integrity is because what we practice and what we cultivate there in those spaces, we bring to our lives. We apply it to our everyday life and how we choose to walk in the world. And for me, this dom sub world is not actually only, it's not like some people might say, oh, so it's about sex, so you like sex, you're like kinky, like sexually kinky. Sure, it can include that, but it also is not that at all. It doesn't have to be that. It can be so many things. It could be, being a slave for a whole day and being really, just receiving orders and obedient and present. And as a slave, the beautiful thing about a slave is that a slave really needs to take care of themselves, because a broken slave is a useless slave. And a slave also is supposed to be very present and not in the mind at all. Just there, looking down, ready to serve their master. There's something deeply peaceful about these archetypes and energies. It is, in a way, taking the things that have been seemingly dark and unconscious and harmful, taking them and alchemizing them into something that actually becomes deeply powerful, yet in a nourishing, transformational, loving way. It's like these dark things becomes deep nourishing love versus deep pain and destruction and violence and harm, because that's what these energies can be when done in illful, intentional ways, like in mean, like really unconscious, lacking ways, where people just feel like they're lacking and they have to be mean and they're disconnected from their own heart. In order to go into a space like this, one has to be deeply in one's heart and really in alignment with oneself and in integrity with oneself too, and really see, where am I doing this from and why, So it has to be an integrity. I would not play in this kind of space with just anybody, because you can feel when someone is there to do something from a place of the mind that's just not pure. So it's really powerful though when you actually meet someone that is willing to go there with you. It is almost like a godsend. It's like literally like, thank you God, Jesus, for sending me this deep blessing. And I just wanted to invite all of us to whatever darkness or taboo or shameful thing, seemingly shameful thing, or thing that you feel curious about, but you also feel shame. You're also like, is this okay? I invite us all to realize that alchemizing these things and how it's actually really healthy to lean into these things, these shadow ways of the human world, like, because humans are still doing this. If we're not leaning into it, we're still acting it out, just an unconscious way. Make the darkness conscious, make all these things, the unconscious, conscious, and you will be having a more present life. It becomes much more juicy and wet and like alive, a turn on. It's a turn on. You want to live a tuned in, tapped in, and turned on life? Let yourself, dive into the dark sea of your psyche. Dive into the psyche of your, like, the dark spaces you haven't gone to, that you're thinking you need to suppress and hide away in those spiritual, nice communities that you're in, where it's just all about song circles and love and light, and we're all up here, it's like so surface. Actually, maybe realize that there's some nutrients for you to look at in these spaces that you don't want to look at because you shame them, because you have a love and light persona. Love and light is actually shining love and light upon everything, every fucking thing, and it's about alchemy. So that's what I wanted to say today. I feel so excited, juicy, turned on, and grateful for life and for the Dom sub dynamics. And it's just a whole new world. I'm like in kindergarten. I'm a kindergarten I'm a kid in the kindergarten of the kink, taboo, BDSM type of stuff. And I don't like whips. I don't like spanking. I'm not a leather type of girl. I was gonna say I'm not a mask type of girl, but masks are kind of cool, but I'm not into that kind of stuff. So anybody who brings any of that type of energy, it's not for me. I'm not available for any of this type of shit. So get the fuck away. Back the fuck away. I'm a no to fucking that. The most dominating man could literally be walking around with a hemp shirt and sandals. Meanwhile, he's got something that you can't see. So it's not about like, oh, BDSM, kink, taboo stuff. It's all about the people with the leather and the whips. To me, honestly, that feels kind of boring and empty. For me, it's something else. It's energy. It's a presence. Yeah. And it's a deep rabbit hole that I'm very, very juicy, dripping wet to explore. And as I explore, I shall share more with you guys. So bye-bye. See you later.